Here's a brief demo of how to use CineForm First Light to multiplex to make your 3D stereo assets. So what I've got here is a series of clips from an animation that I've produced in left and right eye views. I'm going to import that into my clip bin within my First Light here. As we can see that we've got a left and right view of each of these scenes, and thank you to Manor Productions for giving me this excellent little stop motion animation. Now most of these clips have been set up such that the first frame and last frames are exactly correct. I've intentionally made one error by being more like a real-world camera situation where you're not going to necessarily have the camera starting on exactly the same frame, particularly if you're using two independent cameras, like whether it's a AVC HD or XDCam HD and so on. So in this particular case, we definitely need to do some work before we multiplex the two eyes together. And that would be that we need to actually choose a sync frame so that we know exactly where. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this handoff frame here where the clown's hands finally grip. And I'm going to say that is my sync frame. And I come over to the same sequence on the right eye. Come across, find that frame. So this would be like the clapperboard if you're shooting live action. And what I'm going to do is set that as my sync frame. So you can see one of them was sync frame 10 and the other was sync frame 18, being that, you know, I had these 8 frames out of sync, which is quite a lot. You will commonly find that there'll be 2 or 3 frames out of sync. One other action I can do is mark the fact that this is my right eye, so that when I actually go to mux them, I don't have to tell the system or look for the R or anything like that. But that's the right eye, and I'm going to do that with all of these. In fact, I'd already done some of this earlier, so it knows that all these are now right eye, and that these ones are the 2D / left eye clips. So what we now do is we're going to pair them up and say these two are part of a stereo pair, and go into the multiplexer. We open the multiplexer up. Let's bring that into your view. And it sees that it's this is the left, this is the right. It's got them in the right position. You can swap them if it was incorrect, and then you and it generates a name for me. It's just going to be AnimL 001 3D. We can change that if we wish. And I'm just going to add that to the queue. In fact, I can start my queue processing while I'm actually adding more. If I do Control M, which adds the next one to the queue, it'll automatically come up there. And in fact, if I'm quick, which I'm not going to be able to, this is moving very quickly. I forgot to add it. Come along here. I'm still unable to do it faster than what it's actually multiplexing them. I'm trying to show you that it actually does a very good job of multiplexing these clips in the background, which is the whole idea that you can. This is all disk action. There is no recompression. The two clips are being applied together to make a new stereo CineForm asset, and all the processing happens as soon as it's added to the queue, and in a few moments that is complete. So we've now multiplexed all of these, and we can close this window now, and we can get rid of all of these particular assets from our bin. And now we can come in and just pick up all our 3D assets. And this particular clip will be interesting to see. Now when we switch between the left and right eye, they're completely synced up. We can be playing and looping this particular clip and switching between the different eye views while we're doing it. Going into different forms of anaglyph, like the red cyan. While in motion, you might not see it that much there, but you can see that we've got our red and cyan separation between all of our views there. We can also show an interlace view, and other kind of different 3D views depending on your monitor type and your workflow and what you're trying to do. And all of this is all of our clips have been multiplexed into a stereo content, ready for stereo correction, ready to drop into your NLE for a 3D workflow in your standard 2D tools.